What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Touchdown Talk podcast. This is our 22nd episode, and today we will be recapping week 6 of the NFL and also taking questions in the chat as we live stream this show every Tuesday. So make sure to keep tuning in. I am Ryan, and as always, I'm joined by Drake May, special guest on the podcast, and my cousin Evan.
What's up?
So that's Tony, by the way, not actually Drake May.
Definitely not.
Drake May is way cuter. And
hey guys, this is Drake May. How you doing?
That's a perfect impression. It sounds just like him. Where is he? Is he in the room with us? Drake May is emerging as an MVP candidate in the league after 6 weeks, 18 games into his career. He has a better completion percentage than Tom Brady did at this point in his career. He has more passing yards. He has one fewer interceptions. You know, he's, dare I say, like he's pacing Brady at this point in his career. And
yeah, I am.
Drake May,
I'm the truth, man.
What do you have to say about your performance so far through 6 weeks? I mean, what can you say about how well you're playing?
I gotta say, the coaching staff make a world of a difference. I'm with a coach who actually knows what the fuck he's doing, and he gives us a good game plan every week. It lets me go out there and really fucking throw that dinger down to the end zone. And Josh McDaniels is a good guy, you know. And I just got a massive schlong, bro, just like Tom Brady did. And fuck Josh Allen. I'm gonna be better than Josh Allen. That kid's gonna be my fucking son.
All right. Wow. Some harsh words for the division rival there. Who the Bills just lost 2 games in a row, back-to-back primetime games. And now the Pats are at the top of the AFC East. And it's all thanks to Drake May.
That Bills-Falcons game was so weird to watch.
It really was.
Like the Falcons went up 21-7 in the first or second quarter, right? Early second quarter, maybe.
Yeah.
And then what? They didn't score again. I can't remember what the final score was.
They did. They ended up scoring, I think, a field goal after that.
Right, but okay, so you put up 21 points in a blink of an eye, and then you score another 3 the rest of the game.
Just
but your
nothing.
Defense pretty much pitched a shutout. The fact that you didn't let up 21 plus points in a game in the NFL is awesome.
Against the Bills offense that is really one of the best in the league, has some of the, I think it was the highest scoring offense in the league going into this week.
Probably. I could see that.
Yeah.
They did it on scoring a field goal. And there was a touchdown right as the clock expired at the end of the first half that was end up ruled not a touchdown because Drake London, his foot was out of bounds as he was extending for the pylon. That was an insane play. And the announcers were talking about, just get a couple yards and then get down. And then I saw the guy just running towards the end zone. I'm like, I thought they were saying to get down, but he went for the end zone. And I don't blame him for doing that at all. Like, you feel pretty confident about your offense at that point. And obviously it worked out for them. But yeah, Michael Penix looked serviceable, at least. Drake London looks phenomenal. Bijan finally gets a run more than 40 yards. That 80-yard touchdown run was his first run of more than 40 yards in the NFL.
What?
Yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah, believe it or not,
That's
because
crazy.
I mean, he has been a really solid back for 3 years now, and he hasn't had a run longer than 40 yards until last night.
That's crazy.
And it came at a great moment.
Yeah.
It came at a crucial moment for my fantasy team.
For sure.
But yeah, about the Pats, you got Drake May just bringing to life guys like Kayshon Boutte and Demario Douglas. Like, he's just electric.
Oh yeah. I think at the end of last year, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I think we were talking about how Boutte could be a cut candidate for the Pats last year. Or I think it might have been also Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. But all three of them were like, they could be cut. Like any one of those three. Granted, I think Baker and Polk have both been cut, I believe.
Yeah.
Polk definitely they're both gone.
Polk definitely got cut. But yeah, it's good to finally see him start to find his role in the offense. And I think Tony will agree with me on this. Here comes another week of us saying, get rid of Ramondre Stevenson. Another week of it.
Yes.
I think, you know what? I want to put it on the record now. I'm going to put it at October 14th at 7:06 p.m. Bookmark it, clip this, whatever. Alvin Kamara will be a New England Patriot.
Nope. That's not happening. They said they weren't going to trade him.
Even though they said that they opened trading him?
So the report that I heard was the GM or the owner, I think it was the GM of the Saints, straight up went to Alvin Kamara and said, hey, do you want to be traded? And Kamara's like, nah, I want to be a Saint for life. And he's like, all right, we won't trade you then. So all the reports from the GM himself are Kamara's not getting traded, even though there's been all these rumors about it. You know, rumors are one thing, but then hearing it from the horse's mouth, from the GM, that it's not going to happen.
We'll see.
You know,
again, bookmark it. Cool with me. I don't. Then let's say that. Then let's say this. He gets traded. There's going to be a team that comes calling, the Chargers, the Patriots, the team that is in desperate need of a solid running back, and is going to make a move for Kamara, I believe.
But do you think the Pats would do that when they have Travion anyway? Like, why, if you're going to need a running back, why not just slot him in there?
Yes, because they don't trust him. If they trusted Travion, he'd already be starting. After the 4 fumbles that Reminders had so far this season, he would already be starting. I think maybe because he's a rookie still, and they're just not ready for him yet. But I think next year, he is the starter. Guaranteed. Like, I don't think there's even a question. But that's why, because I think they're starting to lose faith on Ramondre because they're throwing the ball so much. Granted, I say throwing the ball so much as in only 35 passes from Drake May, I think, last game. I believe.
I mean, and it's working.
Yeah, it's working. He's picking his spots really well, and it's crazy to me. Like last year, we saw some stuff we saw him maybe not show up the best in some games, but in that Bills game, he showed up and showed out. In that Saints game, he showed up and showed out. So I think the Pats defense showed up and showed out too in that Saints game. Everyone played well in that Saints game, and hopefully, looking at the rest of their schedule, they shouldn't lose more than
3 games. Three games at the most.
I would say 4.
I don't like. I looked at the schedule today, and I was like, I don't even know if they lose 4, bro.
They have the easiest schedule for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, really, they only have they have the Buccaneers, who are they're gonna lose that game, like 99% sure.
They do play the Giants, and the Giants always play the Pats well.
Yeah, but that's at home. That's in New England. That's most likely gonna be a win. Tony,
you've watched so many Pats Giants games. They always play them well, no matter what it is.
Yeah, but that's usually like playoffs though. Regular season isn't really
what
the Giants don't really usually come out
playoffs. They've only faced There's the only time they meet in the playoffs is the Super Bowl, and that's they've lost.
That's what I really mean.
I've been to a Pats Giants game. It was an absolute slugfest, just back and forth. I'm thinking 2019.
Yeah, but we still won.
I went to one.
There was one Pats Giants game that
the Golden Tate bobble touchdown down the sideline.
Oh, I can't. I'm not remembering that.
When the Pats went were like 6 or 7-0 to start the season, they were called the Boogeymen. That was their defense. That's the game. That's the year that I went to the game. It was awesome. It was a great game.
Yeah.
Pats
That
won.
Odell was on that team, wasn't he? In 2019? No, I'm
No, because
thinking
he was
like
Browns. He was Browns at that point.
yeah, I want to say it was like 2016 when like Brady was at the peak of his powers,
Mm-hmm.
and we had like Landon Collins, we had Odell Beckham, and I want to say the Pats were undefeated at the time or something, or they only had one loss, and it was a close game, really, really
Back and
close.
forth game.
And
Odell
I
had
remember
a big play touchdown.
Landon Collins dropped a pick at the
Mhm.
very end, and I was pissed, bro. I was fuming. In fact, I was
Brandon Shambles.
crying.
You
I literally was sobbing because the Giants lost a random ass regular season game against the Pats. And I was like,
That's
so
funny.
that
That's kinda
matchup
funny.
got me fired up so much. But
Yeah.
I think that's why this is a Monday night game, because there's so
Mhm.
much history between these two teams. And yeah, I
Mhm.
feel like it's gonna be a competitive game, even though the Giants aren't necessarily. And we can talk about the Giants too and the way they've been playing. Like, there's been some inconsistencies so
Mhm.
far, but like they have a lot of hope and a lot of good like chemistry with their young players. So I think that that's going to be a huge game to watch on Monday night on December 1st, and we're going to be there. So
We're
we'll
gonna be
have
there.
some footage. Hopefully we'll get some
Definitely.
footage at the game to share with you guys. So stay tuned
Yeah.
to like our Instagram and things like that. But yeah, that'll be a super fun matchup. But some of the other Pats matchups that we have coming up, they play the Titans this week, win. They play the Browns next week, win.
Win.
They play the Falcons, who just beat the Bills. So
that's one of the games where I'm like 50-50. Like maybe that ends up a loss.
Which
but
Falcons
even
team
that
shows
one,
up?
Exactly. Yeah. Are we gonna get the Falcons that got shut out versus the Panthers? Or are we gonna get the primetime Monday night Falcons that beat the Bills?
And guess who started Michael Penix that week they got shut out?
Yep.
I started him in fantasy. That was so bad.
Yep. You got it. It's sometimes it's just luck of the draw, man. After that, you got the Bucks. That feels like
that's
a loss.
That's in Tampa as well. That's a loss.
That could be
It's
a
gonna
loss.
that's a tough one. You got Jets. You got Bengals.
That's a win.
Feel like 2 wins. Giants. I would probably give it to the Pats. Back to the Bills in Gillette this time. Feels like a win.
Hope to win.
Ravens
But
are not.
They could drop that one.
They could, absolutely. It feels like it would make sense for them to split with the Bills, and who knows how healthy they'll be at that point. They play the Ravens after that, which is not as scary of a matchup as we thought it would be at the beginning of the season.
That's a win. They're going to put 40.
And then they play the Jets and Dolphins to end the season. Super easy schedule. Really, really easy schedule.
Yeah.
From this point on. I mean, even so far, it's been like they haven't had the most difficult opponents. Really, the Bills would probably be the hardest opponent that they've faced, I'd say. Maybe the Steelers.
The Steelers, but even that game, they should have won that game.
Yeah,
I agree. If you don't have 5 turnovers, you win that game.
Yeah.
Right, but
you give them extra
they did.
But they did. Right.
So that's the thing is like, and that's the Steelers are a type of team that will do that to you with that defense. But it definitely feels like they're set up for a lot of success this season and probably a playoff spot and honestly a division title. Like it feels that way. If their schedule is that easy though, then the Bills must be that easy as well, because that means they're playing the AFC South, so the Bills have to play the Browns at some point.
This is way harder.
Well, I know that they're going to have matchups against tougher teams, but they already beat the Ravens. They're going to play
They have the Chiefs in 2 weeks.
They have the Chiefs. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs have been inconsistent though too. They've shown some weaknesses.
Yeah. But that's still gonna be a tough game for them.
I mean, the Pats and Bills both get Jets and Dolphins twice this year. There's 4 wins right there that are like guaranteed almost. So in that regard, I feel like they're going to be even sort of when it comes to certain matchups.
But the Bills have already played the Dolphins and the Jets both once already. They won both those games.
Yes,
Obviously,
they did.
Mhm.
Yes.
they've had a lot more trouble the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've been.
I'm looking at their schedule. It is pretty easy. They have a couple more tough matchups. Like they have Philly at the end of the season.
Yep.
They have who else? I was just looking at it.
But
It won't load now.
even Philly has shown some weaknesses too.
Yeah,
I'm not like
I'll
that's
be
not
honest,
to say
I
it's an
don't
easy
know.
matchup.
Right. Like I'll be honest, I don't know who's like really good this year. It's
Yeah.
very much up in the air. Like every team has a flaw.
Mhm.
And I think this is going to make for a great rest of the season because we're not going to be able to predict what's going to happen.
It's awesome.
there are
Yeah,
two
it's great.
teams that if they both stay healthy, I know they're most likely going to be in the Super Bowl.
What teams would those be?
I really
have
hate
two
to
that-
say it, but it's going to be Indy and it's going to be Tampa Bay.
I was thinking both of those teams.
Without a doubt, because if they are healthy, they'll especially Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay can run the football this year if they're healthy, and they have not stayed healthy, which is a good thing, I guess, if you're an NFC opponent. But if they can stay healthy and run the ball, they scare the bejeevers out of me. And
Well, I think the
I don't know.
scary thing there is that they've been hurt on offense.
yes, and they're still
their
playing,
top
yes.
4 wide receivers are all hurt.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield is still balling out, and their wide receiver or
Baker
number
is
1
still
running
insane.
back is hurt, and Baker's still putting on MVP for performances with their
Yep,
5th
and
string wide
Bucky, yep.
receivers.
Tez Johnson,
They have
baby. Go Dubs.
they have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, not Tet McMillan, but Jalen McMillan, and now Emeka
and
Egbuka
McMillan
is
is
now
hurt too. Yeah.
out. So all 4 of those guys are out. They're down to their 5th wide receiver and still balling out with Tez Johnson and Sterling Shepard. And Bucky Irving's out, who is a phenomenal running back, but also an option in the receiving game and a really good receiving back too. So the scary thing about the Bucs is that they're still good even despite all of those injuries.
Yeah.
And then the Colts are just a really unexpected team that is playing really well. They're playing clean football. They're not making mistakes. They're running the ball well with Jonathan Taylor. Like that just feels like a really like competent team. The only thing that I would say is like once it comes to playoff time, I don't know how much I trust Daniel Jones in the playoffs.
I agree.
And
that's what I was going to say. I was like, I don't know about the Colts there. I like your pick in the Colts. I think it's the fun pick. I think it's the, oh, hey, let's look at who's the best right now. But I think there's going to be another team in the AFC that's going to come out and beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think there'll be a tough beat.
The Pats.
Don't get me wrong. I think there'll be a tough beat, but I think your pick on the Colts, I don't think is wrong. But I don't know. I'm not a fan, personally. But again, I don't know who I'd pick because I have no idea who's good or bad right now.
I think, honestly, that I would probably take the Pats to beat the Colts in the playoffs. Like, obviously, things can change between now and then, but the Pats have one of the best run defenses in the league. And if the Pats can stop Jonathan Taylor or slow down Jonathan Taylor and force Daniel Jones to win the game on his own, then that's when I think that's playoff football. And that's what playoff teams do is they take away your number 1 strength. So if they take away that running game and force Daniel Jones to win the game with his arm, and you saw it against who the hell did they lose to? Who beat them? Yeah, the Colts lost
Colts?
to
oh jeez.
Oh my god, I can't remember it.
Didn't they lose to Philly? Or no, they lost to the
play
Rams. They lost to LA.
The Rams. I don't have the numbers from that game. I know that Daniel Jones threw 2 picks. And I don't think he's thrown a pick in any other game.
No.
If I'm not mistaken.
It was just that game.
Right.
So literally all it takes
and
is
that was really that's the only bad game they've really had.
Yeah, that's like their only blemish that they have so far this season.
Other than that, they're perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just pull up the stats from that game because we're talking about the Colts right now. Dan Jones, 262, a touchdown, 2 picks, sacked twice. Jonathan Taylor only had 76 yards in that game on 17 attempts. So, like, that's not for Jonathan Taylor, like, that's not a great day.
No.
And no touchdowns. So if you can take away Jonathan Taylor, then I think you have a really good chance at stopping that team. The Pats feel like a team that can do that in the AFC. So if that becomes a playoff matchup, then like I said, things can change between now and then, but like that feels like a team that could stop the Colts in the playoffs.
See, but that's so scary to me though, because I don't know. Because when I look at Indy, they have, which is something that for some reason no one saw coming, but they have the best offensive line this year in the league, and they have and they have the best running game so far. And when it comes time for playoff football, that usually trumps a lot of the other things, that and turnovers. If you can run the football and not turn the ball over in the playoffs, you win probably 90% of the time. I don't know. I see. I want to say the Pats will be able to challenge them, but I don't know because we can't run the ball, and I feel like right now we can. Every week we keep putting so much on Drake May. It's like go out and do this, and he's delivered every week, almost every week so far. But it's like, how long can we keep that up? And I feel like in the playoffs, eventually, he's not going to be able to deliver as well and as efficiently as he can in the regular season, especially against a lot of these very bad teams. So if they can't figure out how to run the ball, I don't know if they can beat not even just Indy, but I don't know if they can beat LA or, even Kansas City. If we meet Kansas City, because Kansas City will be a wild card most likely. Unless they somehow come back and win the division. But I just don't see how we can beat those teams.
Wow. I never thought that you'd be the one to be doubting the Pats on this channel, on this podcast. And I'm the one who's saying that they can get it done. I never would have predicted that.
That's crazy, right? And before the season, I was the one that was like, this Patriots team can win the division. And I still think they do. And even before the season, I was like, this is an 11-6, 12-5 win team based on the schedule. And people were like, no, they're 10-7. And now it's looking like it's gonna be like 12-5 or 11-6. But I gotta be a realist here. Like, I never had any doubts about them during the regular season, but playoff time is a whole different beast.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And you're talking about a guy who hasn't seen playoff action. Drake May hasn't had the experience as well. I mean, that's not everything either. Like you can obviously you got to win your first playoff game at some point. You got to. Yeah. There have been quarterbacks who come in and win their first playoff game that they've played, Baker Mayfield. But that's another thing there. You have obviously quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, who has won Super Bowls before and a Super Bowl before. You got Mahomes out there. Justin Herbert has not won a playoff game, so there's that as well. Imagine we get a Chargers Pats, and it's like, all right, well, one of these guys has to get their first playoff win,
and then they tie.
And they tie. And they both lose.
They're like, you know what? You guys can both just go home. we're just gonna give someone else another bye. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things shake up.
Definitely.
So winners and losers outside of those teams that we talked about, like, what do you guys think as far as like who's a big winner, who's a big loser from this week?
I think the Jets are a loser this week, not just because they lost that game. I think you saw some very glaring issues with that team. I think that we've probably seen the past 6 weeks as well. But that O-line is not great. Justin Fields is probably not the guy. I'm gonna say probably because we haven't seen all season yet. Unless he just miraculously just makes a huge turn. And yeah, it's just it ain't great down there in New York. On the Jet side. On the Jet side. I think a big winner is the G-Men.
Let me hear it. Yeah, baby.
Huge
All
winner.
right. All right.
Because
let's go.
Doubling up the Philadelphia Eagles is crazy work, and great job to them for doing that.
Yes, sir. Those two
I
are phenomenal.
I am not confident enough to say the G-Men are winners. I feel like that was a big Philly shit is shit game that more than New York is amazing game. I mean, it's promising if you're, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo he had a good game, but honest to God, I feel like his performance is being overblown from what people are saying.
A 3 touchdown game?
Yes.
How do you over
Ramondre just had a 2 touchdown game last week. Touchdowns don't matter. Well, I mean they do to an extent, but
okay. There you go. Thank you.
To say they don't matter.
Do matter
is one thing, but I kind of get what you're saying, and I think we talked about this a little bit last week. Like in regards to like Ramondre, is like just because you get the touchdowns doesn't necessarily mean that you're the best running back ever. A 3 touchdown game from Jonathan Taylor where he has 160 yards and 3 touchdowns is one thing. And then there's a 3 touchdown game from Cam Scatabo where Jackson Dart kind of drives them into within the 10-yard line, and then Scatabo punches it in. And he's really good at that. He's such a physical runner, and he fucking leveled some dudes on the goal line. That, and that is impressive. And I'm thrilled that we have a guy like that we can feel so confident when we're on the goal line to just give it to him and like, yeah, he's gonna run a dude over, and we feel really good about him doing that. But before like the very last drive of that game, he wasn't extremely productive. I would say that he had a volume based he had a good game because of his volume and because they were up at the end and they were able to run it out on that last drive. And I heard Brian Daboll's like post-game speech, and he said that being able to run out the clock in that last drive was huge for them. It was huge for Scatabo and his running numbers. And I think a lot of like I think he had 99 or 98 yards, so nearly 100-yard game. And I want to say maybe 40 to 50 of those yards came on that last drive, because at that point you're playing against a completely deflated Philly defense that is just like given up. It does seem like there was some dysfunctionality in that Eagles locker room. So at that point, like a lot of those yards at the end, I think are just kind of fluff, I guess, in a way. But I'm not trying to take anything away from Cam Scatabo, and like his physicality is absolutely insane. I think the energy he brings and the way that he like lifts people up around him is huge for this team. And it's just such a positive energy going forward. Him and Jackson Dart together just feel like an insane duo. There was some things about this game that like I didn't like from this team, and the energy's great. Like I love that they're excited for each other when they score, and they want each other to score, and they want Jackson Dart to be out on the field. They don't want him in the blue medical tent. Like they're checking up on him. Like that's a good, their heart is in the right place. But you're now about to get fined for potentially violating the concussion protocol because you're going in and you're checking on your guy and you're disrupting the process of concussion protocol. And probably Daboll and Scatabo going in to check on him is one thing, but then also I think probably, and I don't know the full details of the investigation because the NFL is investigating how the concussion protocol was conducted there and how fast he went back out onto the field. But also Jackson Dart inside the tent, we didn't see it, but we heard from the announcers that he was looking out the little window in the tent and yelling at his team and like motivating guys from inside the tent. And that's good. It's good energy, but like in that moment, you need to sort of just take a breath and like let the medical people do their thing, go through that process. And if you're good, then you're good and you can go back out and keep playing. And that's great. And obviously we don't want him to be held out longer than he needs to be. But if you're rushing the process, then you're also like,
hurting yourself. You're
hurting yourself and you're screwing over your team, so the energy is good. And even like the high-fiving the ref on the Scadaboo touchdown, hilarious. And I love the energy. I love that he is like vouching and fighting for his teammate to have gotten the call. But you should get fined for that. It's technically in the rule book, making contact with a ref in that way is finable. And not finable, but there should have been an on-field penalty for that. And I think it's good energy. And yeah, like the overall message of it is great, but there's things that you need to sort of reel in a little bit. You see it with guys, taking off their helmets and throwing their helmets when they score a touchdown. Like, okay, I'm glad that you're happy you scored. Keep your helmet on because you're going to hurt the team. So I'm loving the energy, but we need to reel it in just a little bit and keep things sort of within the like a safe-ish space. And I think Dayball is probably telling his guys that too. And the backflips, I love the backflips too. If Cam Scadaboo tears his fucking ACL doing a backflip after scoring, I'm gonna fucking kill somebody, because that's not how you want to like do that shit, man. Like, especially on the fucking turf at MetLife Stadium. Like, dog,
that's very true.
We need to be staying very safe,
Have you guys?
That's my
heard
Giants
of the fantasy league? Have you guys heard of the fantasy league that does minus points for backflips?
Yeah, minus 50. Right.
So Cam Scadaboo was actually averaging negative points in that league because of his backflips.
Yeah. minus 50 points per backflip. And he did it twice against the Eagles. So he had negative 100 points.
Yep. He's averaging negative points in that league. And like, that is hilarious.
That's a wild thing to have as such a random rule in your fantasy league. So funny.
I want to add punters to my fantasy league.
Dude, how would you even do that for punt yardage?
So you do scoring by like, all right, if it's inside the 10, it's this many points. If it's inside the 20, this many points.
All right.
And then if it's a touchback, it's like minus a point. Or minus a few points.
Right.
And then you could probably do like 0.01 points per punt yard. So.
Right, based on how far they're getting it, yeah.
Right, so like if they punt 50 yards, it's 5 points.
Yeah, we could make a whole league that's just it's all alternate stuff where it's like we don't even have wide receivers or running backs anymore. It's all just like we got the long snappers and the and the IDPs and like literally every player on your roster is just defense or special
kickers,
teams.
punters, and defensive people.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
That's the whole league.
That would be hilarious.
That'd be awesome. We should do it.
We should.
Now, and we didn't do our picks last week.
Correct.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Tony has a list of picks that we made.
We did. I wrote them down.
After we ended the live, remember we did the picks real quick.
Oh, did we do our picks after we ended?
Yeah, we just didn't do them live.
Okay. All right. So let's update everybody on that real quick.
Well, I gotta find the list. 1 second.
I'm gonna look at next week's matchups too.
Yeah, I think I already have my pick. I think so.
Unfortunately, everybody is gonzo.
Do we all?
Yeah, I was the last one left, and I picked
thought-
Philly. Of course, I picked Philly. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Oh, you're
five
saying
and
just
1.
on the season now.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
on
I
the
thought-
season we all lost.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I picked the Packers, didn't I?
I say I picked Patriots.
You did. Yeah, and Evan, you picked the Patriots, so you're at 5 and 1 now.
Mhm.
And then Ryan, you did pick Green Bay, so they won, right?
Yeah, they
Mhm.
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so we're all 5 and 1.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I think I got my pick for this week.
I think I have my pick as well.
All right, ready?
Who you
You
guys
got yours, Tony?
No, I'll
Brian,
look
go
right
ahead.
now, but you guys can
Brian, go ahead. Who's your pick?
I'm gonna pick the Carolina Panthers against the New York Jets.
Oh, good one.
What am I? The Panthers
I will
aren't
be taking. Oh,
good. Good.
Nope. You first. Nope.
The Panthers are not like too bad anymore. I think they're on an upward trajectory, and then against the Jets, it's just a great matchup. I was gonna say that this is one of my few chances to pick the Panthers, but like I think they're getting better, so that might not be necessarily true.
I think this game is one of my few chances to pick the Cleveland Browns over the Miami Dolphins.
Wow. All right, that's massive.
Evan. I was thinking about picking them.
Oh, then take the Browns. I got another pick.
No. I got another pick. It's all good.
Okay, I will take the Cleveland Browns over the Miami Dolphins. Hopefully, I think this will be the game that no one wants to watch this weekend. You will not see this game on Red Zone ever. Maybe for the field goal or the block punt or whatever. But and I think the game is in Cleveland.
It is in Cleveland.
So give me the hometown Cleveland Browns. The home team, sorry.
Watch, this one's gonna end up being shown a lot on Red Zone because it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be it's gonna be the best matchup of the week.
Would be hilarious.
You know what?
I was gonna say, what's yours, Tony?
I thought about picking like maybe Chicago over New Orleans or Kansas City is another good one. The Commanders are another good one, but I want to make things interesting. Originally, I was going to pick Cleveland, but I am going to go with the Miami Dolphins now.
Whoa.
just to make things interesting.
That's fine.
All right.
And I think
do you want to have a little friendly wager on the game?
Oh,
we'll talk.
Sure.
We can talk in the group chat later, but I'll put some.
I mean, it's better than putting money in a parlay, so yeah, I'm all for it.
Sweet.
What if
I am all?
What if
for
it's a
it.
punishment on next episode?
Okay, sounds good.
What if it's one of y'all has to wear something silly or something?
Okay.
Whoever.
It depends what the cost, what we would have to wear would be though.
What if it's just like
be at work? So.
What if it's like a pink wig? Can you wear a pink wig at work?
Yeah, I can bring one in and.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to wear it like as soon as you get into your shift, but just when we start filming.
Yeah,
okay, I can get one.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, so
that's
are
probably
we like
$5 at Party City?
Are we just like mutually agreeing that it is a pink wig like right now? Like that's what it's gonna be.
Shake hands.
You have to wear it. You have to wear it. You have to wear it. You have to wear it the whole show.
I kind of want to put something else though. I want a pink wig, and then what about like a pink bra or something?
Pink bra.
We're from the neck up. We don't wear that. We're not gonna be able to show it.
You can reframe your shot.
No.
Okay, what about man. All right, fine. Just a pink wig then.
We can talk more after the show.
Yeah, we can fine tune it. Yeah. But next week, whoever wins or whoever loses, if the Dolphins win,
Cleveland.
If the Dolphins win, Evan wears a pink wig. If the Browns win, Tony wears a pink wig. and potentially another accessory.
Yeah.
TBD on that.
Yes.
Now we're all going to be watching this game.
Yeah.
That'll be like, I'm hoping that's going to be a good game because Miami does have like some good offensive pieces.
Dude,
So
I mean, yeah, like you said, no one's going to watch the game. I am, because I have like 4 different Dolphins players in fantasy across 2 leagues. So I'm always watching the Dolphins, even though they suck so bad. Honestly, it's working out for me, really.
Yeah. Wait, we didn't get Tony's winners and losers.
Yeah, what do you got, Tony, as far as
for like teams?
Or players, or it could be anybody.
Well, I never finished, but the Giants thing, Ryan, you described that very well. I didn't necessarily pick New York as a winner. I think Philly is more of a loser for the week. Mm-hmm. I think Philly's offense is very one-dimensional this year, and that new offensive coordinator looks like he'll be the downfall of them. I mean, I would like to believe that at some point in the season, Saquon will become efficient again, but their offensive line does not look as good, and it's just like, I don't know. Every week we keep saying where's Saquon, and they just continue not to show up. He doesn't show up. So, I don't know. Going in far into the season, I don't know how far they're gonna go this year. They don't strike me as a back-to-back Super Bowl team, though. And some other teams, I think the Broncos and the Jets are both losers. Obviously, you want to win every week, but if you're Denver, that was a terrible, terrible win. Their defense is elite, top 3 defense in the league, but they are a team, Denver, where if I have to play them in the playoffs, I am not necessarily too afraid of them at this moment. So they really need to figure things out on the offensive side of the ball. The Cowboys are big losers. They defensively are terrible, and same thing with the Ravens.
That offense is bad without Lamar Jackson.
Oh, so bad.
Bad.
So bad. And yeah. I guess you could say the Jags are kind of losers. They finally did not run the ball too well. And Seattle looks a lot better than what people gave them credit for.
Yeah. The defense looks
Sammy
good this
Slings.
Mm-hmm. JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, best wide receiver in the league right now. Crazy.
Yeah, he is. Yes, sir. Dude, I love that guy.
I have one more big-time winner.
What you got?
The Chicago Bears. I said before the season that the Bears would be better than what people are giving them credit for, and they are starting to shape up to be that way. They finally ran the ball very well last night. And if Washington doesn't turn the ball over 3 times, they probably still lose that game. However, I think them continuing to get better in the run game every week is translating very well for their offense. And Caleb Williams does not seem as elite as I was hoping he would be. He does still look a little too panicky for me. But he is getting better and better, and I'm just a fan of what Ben Johnson is doing in the culture in there. Like, you can tell it's already changing.
Yeah, definitely. Granted, that Bears O-line is not great either, so I see why he's a little panicky and kind of gets happy feet in the pocket when things kind of do break down and he moves a little bit too much and tries to find the big play. I think the big thing coming out of that game, besides the Bears win and getting their 3 turnovers on Washington, I don't know if you guys heard, DJ Moore was hospitalized after the game.
Really?
I just saw that today.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing on why he was hospitalized.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
he did come out for a minute.
He did get hurt. Yeah, he got hurt yesterday, but I didn't know he was hospitalized until I saw it today.
you look for like why he was hospitalized, like there's no report on it currently.
Well,
I could be wrong,
didn't it say that
but
they just wanted to be safe or something? That's all it said,
I
right?
I
He
didn't see
was
anything like that.
he was evaluated for a groin injury.
Interesting.
So yeah, Ben Johnson did decline to provide details about the injury,
Mm-hmm.
but he said he was day to day. He said it's a personal story.
Seems like something bigger
So
than
yeah,
a groin injury personally.
he received precautionary medical attention at a nearby hospital. He had 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been like, yeah, maybe he got hit in the nuts or something, and it was like, yeah, we don't want to talk about that, or like,
Ruptured testicle. Who knows?
right, yeah,
No,
testicular
dead
torsion,
ass.
or I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's
It's
tough to
possible.
speculate, but yeah, they said it's a groin injury. It's a personal story. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be
Something
a
something
myriad of
gross.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
like who knows, you know.
Yeah. By the way, best of luck to Fred Warner on his recovery as well.
Mhm.
The
Oh,
man.
broken ankle, dislocated ankle, both.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what it was. I remember my girlfriend and I were watching the game, and we're like, "Oh, Fred Warner went down. Ah, shit. Damn, hate to see it." And then you hear Jim
Yeah.
Nantz and Tony Romo go, "Oh," in the booth, and I go, "Oh God." Like
Yeah.
it was not good. It was gross. It was a
Yeah, it was
gross
pretty
injury.
nasty to see. Yeah, he was kind of. It was similar to Tyreek.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of nasty injuries. Like, man, it feels like every year, there's always so many injuries, but like this year, it just feels like it's the biggest guys, and especially in San Francisco, they're losing everybody. But like, you lose Burrow, you lose Lamar, you lose Malik Neighbors, you lose Tyreek Hill, you lose Fred Warner. Not to mention all the other Niners injuries they have, and then the Ravens are completely hospitalized, and it's just like, dang, man, we want to watch all the most exciting players, but they keep going down. So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, man.
I'm so used to it by now, though. It really is like this every year.
Yeah, it is. It is just luck of the draw sometimes.
Yep.
Just hope that it's not your team.
For sure. But boys, I gotta get going. I will see you guys later.
All right, Evan.
Love you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for joining us.
See you guys later.
See you, man.
All right, dude.
Peace.
Catch you.
Peace.
All right, Tony. It's just me and you now. And one more thing I wanted to talk about with injuries. Puka Nacua did go out with an injury before eventually returning to the game.
Yes,
Do you know? Did he continued to play the whole game? Right. He didn't go back out.
Yeah. So he went down, and it looked scarier initially because it looked like he was holding on to his ribs, but I think it came out that it was just like a foot injury or something.
Oh.
And he really just wasn't. He didn't play in the first half, and he came back in the second half.
Okay, gotcha. And I think it translated to not necessarily a high statistical production in that day, but going into that game, he was the leading receiver in the league, and now coming out of that game with Jackson Smith and Jigba putting up 160 plus yards in his game, he overtook Puka as the leading receiver in the NFL. So
yeah,
it's kind of like when it comes to fantasy, or even just, as far as like, individual accolades and statistics, league leaders in whatever statistical category it is, a lot of it comes down to luck. Like Puka's on pace to have over 2,000, break every record, and then he gets hurt. He misses half a game, and that's enough to set him back. So, things can look one way one week and then just completely get turned around. I wanted to go back to what you were saying about the Eagles, because everything you said was totally spot on. And so a couple things. Every year since Jalen Hurts has been in the league, he's had a new offensive coordinator every single year. I saw that online somewhere. I should fact check that, but they had a crazy offense last year with Kellen Moore as the OC, and now Kellen Moore goes to New Orleans, and they actually look, the Giants game, obviously they had some offensive production. They had some explosive plays. Even against the Pats, Chris Olave has been playing really well. Like, their offense isn't super high powered, but like I feel like he's getting more out of Spencer Rattler than we would have expected. And I think not having Kellen Moore as the OC is huge for them and is a big knock. I'm talking about the Eagles now. It's a huge knock for them and sets them back a little bit. And then what else had you said about the Eagles? I was gonna touch on with Saquon.
Well, they can't really run. Well, yeah, I would say they can't really run the ball well right now.
Yeah.
Even with Saquon in there, and I believe their offensive line is a little banged up compared to last year.
Oh, is it?
I could be wrong on that though. I believe it is. I think they have some key pieces missing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But even when they were healthy, like they just don't look like the offensive team like they did last year.
No,
And,
not at all. They don't seem like a Super Bowl team, like you said.
No. And they put it so when they can't run the ball, they go to Jalen Hurts and the passing game. Mm-hmm. And some weeks that translates very well. Some weeks he's able to get it done. But then you have other weeks, like again this past week against New York, where it just looked like a train wreck. Like he can't do anything. And
right.
Even Jalen Hurts looked confused and, broken.
Yeah, even the one broken play that they did have where Devontae Smith was wide open, Jalen Hurts just overthrew him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just a rough performance. There was something else that I was going to say before that I thought of, but it kind of slipped away in my mind.
Was it about Saquon?
I think it was about Saquon, but I can't really remember. It'll come back to me. And maybe it's just the overall dysfunctionality of their offense with A.J. Brown not being happy with his targets. And, this is what I was going to say. Against the Giants, Saquon, within the first 2 or 3 plays, had 30 yards. It was like all of a sudden 30 yards.
That's right. Yes, I remember that.
And then they just stopped giving him the ball. They took him out of the game and they put in freaking A.J. Dillon. And then as soon as A.J. Dillon ran the ball, he got stonewalled and nothing happened. And then I think they stalled out on that drive. And then the next drive, they were passing the ball and they weren't giving it to Saquon. And I'm like, obviously, I wanted the Giants to win. And I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. He had 30 yards in the first 2 plays. And then he ended the game with less than 60 yards. I don't think they were utilizing him nearly enough. I think they just need to lean on him more. Like last year, they ran the ball more than almost any team ever. Like they were in the top 5 most run heavy teams like in the history of the league or something, since maybe the Super Bowl era or something like that. They were extremely high rate of running the football last year. And it made sense because you had the best back in the league and he was running for 2K and it was working for them. But they've abandoned that philosophy now. And I think that does go back to the offensive coordinator because obviously that's the person calling the plays or at least coordinating the offense. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like they have the right game plan and they're leaning on Hurts when I think they don't need to. And then when they do finally need to, he's not there. The one game where it did work was against the Rams when he led the comeback because that was the whole narrative was like, oh, they took away the run. So now they have to rely on Hurts. And then Hurts showed up and did it against the Rams. And obviously Jalen Hurts, people talk about him as he's not a top 5 quarterback. And then some people are like, wow, but he really is.
I think he is.
Top 5, I'm not sure. Just because of kind of the state of things right now, it's so hard to say who's top 5. But he's shown it at times that he has that deep ball. Like you saw it in the Super Bowl. He can air it out. It's not like he's inept at throwing the football. There are times where he doesn't look that great.
He's a very, very good passer of the football.
He is a good passer at times. and then there's times where he's not. And he is an extremely mobile quarterback because I've witnessed him escape things that I never thought he would be able to escape, and it pisses me off. But like, he's got the skills there, and then sometimes it just, his talents are just not unlocked in certain situations, and it's just like, it feels weird that they can't get it going because, like, I'm not saying he's top 5, but he's probably top 10 at the very least, if he's not top 6 or 7. And I don't know, it just feels weird that they can't get things going because it feels like there's plenty there to work with.
Well, that's why I said earlier the downfall of the Eagles, as of right now, what it looks like is going to be the offensive scheme. It's going to be the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Because the talent is there. Like, you still have these wide receivers and AJ and Devontae, and you still have Saquon, and you still have there's one or two guys missing from that offensive line, but you still have the new center who's pretty good, and then Mailata is in there still, I'm pretty sure, unless he got hurt. But you still have the core pieces there, and you know that they can produce because they've done it before. But then when you watch them, there just seems to be all kinds of problems, and that to me goes back, and it looks like it's because of the coaching. That's what it looks like to me when I watch them.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Now, there is one other thing about the Eagles. I will say their defense, I feel like we underestimated how much they actually really did lose in the offseason. Like, their defense still looks good, but without Milton Williams and Sweat in there and a bunch of other guys, they do not look as good as they did last year. And coming into the season, we were like, oh, this is top 3 defense in the NFL, and they just don't look like it. So, with those guys missing. Yeah.
I don't think they're getting as much pressure because watching the Giants game, Giants-Eagles, and I want to say they had 2 sacks in the game, but the sacks that they had didn't feel like obviously you're getting to the quarterback. It's a sack is a sack, but it felt more like it was a TFL than a sack. It was times where Jackson Dart was running around the pocket and trying to make something happen and then eventually didn't. Like, it didn't feel like they were pressuring him. Like, I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but like, it didn't feel like a true sack. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they blew up the play immediately and he had 0 time. It was like he had time and he was kind of running around and then ended up getting tackled short of the line of scrimmage. It didn't feel like they had him super bottled up and a sack was the result of it. It was more like he just kind of ran out of steam. But I think that's a weakness for them.
They look very underwhelming compared to last year. I feel like Zadarius Smith retiring was such a big hit that people did not think it was going to be as big of a hit for them, but it's turned out to be pretty bad for them, losing them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was very recent too.
Oh yeah.
Do you got any other winners and losers? We talk about the Eagles way too much. I'm done talking about the Eagles, man.
Yeah. No. No, that's good though. We covered all our bases with Philly, so now you guys know exactly why moving forward we don't really believe in them, but we'll see.
I want to just highlight. I want to give my matchup of the week.
All right.
Maybe I'll start doing this.
Like your best, like you think is gonna
like
be the
matchup
game.
that I'm the most excited for. I'll say.
Okay.
Honorable mention. This is really close between these two. I'm gonna be a little bit contrarian with my pick. Honorable mention. I'll give it to the Bucs-Lions Monday Night Football game. That does feel like it's going to be an electric matchup, and two playoff teams, two really, really good teams. They've met, twice in the past 2 years, and they've been electric matchups both times. But my game of the week is going to be two teams that we talked about earlier in this episode as potential playoff teams, and that's going to be the Colts and the Chargers, sitting at 5-1 and 4-2. And that just feels like a game that is going to show us a lot of things. It's an example of what we were talking about earlier, where, the Colts feel like this team that's going to end up winning the Super Bowl or make a good playoff run. And the Chargers obviously are going to be in that mix too. So we're going to really kind of get a chance to see if the Colts are legit. We've kind of gotten a taste for things, but we'll see if the Chargers can slow them down running the ball, because the Chargers, I don't know exactly how their run defense is, but I don't think it's really that bad. I don't think they don't strike me as a team that is hold on, rushing yards per game. Oh, that's for them. The Colts are the 5th best team running the ball. The Chargers are the 12th best team running the ball. I'm trying to look at running yards allowed, but rush defense, I'm not sure.
Number 21 right now.
In run defense, the Chargers?
Yep. 124 yards per game.
Okay. All right.
So which puts them at number 21.
So then
not super.
In that case, I don't feel great about the Chargers' chances. But either way, I still feel like that's a really good matchup, and I'm excited to see how it turns out there. The Colts have the most points per game in the whole entire league. Absolutely absurd.
Yes. They went the longest without punting the ball in NFL history. I don't know. I mean, honestly, everything else that's been happening in the NFL this year, I kind of saw coming to an extent. The Colts, I did not see coming. They are one of the few teams where I really just had no clue. I mean, I knew Jonathan Taylor was good, but he was obviously, I guess, we forget that, in 2021, JT was the best running back in the league. I mean, I don't really know what happened. He kind of went away, and
he dealt with some injuries,
right? And he had injuries as well. But I didn't see him coming back to this extent.
No, not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't have said that he'd be the number one guy. I mean, I think he probably would have been top. Would I say he's top 5? Probably. I might have said he was top 5 at the start of the year. Well, maybe not.
Number 5 to 10.
Maybe
number 6 to 10, somewhere along there.
Yeah, probably, because
and that's where a lot of the rankings had him as well.
Yeah, but now he's freaking number 1. So, and that's massive. Obviously, you saw it last year with the number 1 running back in the league ended up being the team that won the Super Bowl. So we'll see if history repeats itself, Tony. We shall see.
I mean, I guess last year was really the only down year the Colts have had with that new coach. The year before, they almost made the playoffs. They were 1 game short. The Texans beat them in the Week 18 matchup.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That was for the division, and that was 2 years ago.
And that was a Gardner Minshew-led Colts team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Right.
Wild.
So I think this coach of the Colts, who used to be the coach of in Philly, right?
Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
I want to say he was maybe the OC or something
in Philly beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's something to look out for in the future, because he
could end up being, he's a good coach of the year candidate.
Oh yeah.
which
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
literally never would have predicted that.
Right. I mean, 2 years ago, maybe, but after the year they had last year, hell no. But
Yeah, so he
I
was
mean,
the offensive coordinator for the Eagles in 21-22.
right, okay,
And before that, he was the Chargers quarterbacks coach.
okay,
And then the Chargers
pretty
OC.
solid, pretty
Yeah, wow.
solid. But yeah,
All right. A lot of our
I don't know.
predictions are not looking good, Tony. Go back and watch all of our predictions videos, and I don't think they're accurate anymore.
I don't know, man. I feel like most of mine are like most of mine are not spot on, but pretty close, honestly. Like a lot of the stuff I said is coming to fruition.
Okay, well, you said Travion Rookie of the Year.
Okay, that was terrible.
You said Caleb Williams for
terrible.
MVP. Or no, you said Caleb Williams for Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year.
You said Jaden Daniels for MVP.
Okay, that was bad.
You said Jared Verse for Defensive Player of the Year.
Could happen.
Could happen.
Not. It's
I'm
probably
not sure who the front runner is.
Either Bonito in Denver or
yeah,
the guy from Jacksonville. Are probably the two
Devin Lloyd.
runners.
Devin Lloyd is a good candidate, yeah. And then I'm trying to think of like who I had. I had Bijan as Offensive Player of the Year, which is still alive.
Could happen.
I have Cam Ward Rookie of the Year, which is probably not happening.
Nah.
I don't think
honestly. I think Egbuka is gonna win it.
Yeah, I mean him being hurt now could definitely like kind of go against him if he misses time and just like, not that he wasn't good, but just he's just missing time. But I don't know if there's anybody else that's really threatening right now for that award.
I was just gonna say if he's hurt,
I mean,
who else wins
maybe a guy like Scadaboo or Dart. Honestly,
one of those
Jackson Dart could win it. One of those two could win it. Honestly, if one of them wins
actually,
it,
Jackson Dart is a pretty good chance Jackson Dart could win it, especially if Egbuka didn't get hurt. I would say no, but if Egbuka's hurt, I feel like Dart, depending on how long Egbuka's out for, Dart could win it.
Right. That's just, goes back to what we were saying earlier about just like luck when it comes to these like sort of individual stats and awards. Is like, all right, well, that guy got hurt, so here's my window, and just seize the opportunity. I'm thinking defensive Rookie of the Year. I want to say I said Abdul Carter. I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll be honestly
that
like
guy
someone
on Atlanta looks wicked good.
Walker. Javon Walker. Yeah. Because he's elevating their defense a lot. It probably won't be Travis Hunter.
Nah.
I think you said Jahad Campbell, and honestly, I'd probably put Jahad Campbell ahead of Abdul Carter at this point. Abdul Carter's been playing well. He just hasn't been getting the sacks. Like, he's getting pressures, and he's providing opportunities for Brian Burns and other guys on that defense, but he's just not getting to the quarterback. I don't think he's had maybe a half a sack or something like that. But he's not doing a whole lot at this point. But he could have like a big surge towards the end of the season. Comeback Player of the Year, I think I said Aiden Hutchinson, but honestly, it looks like it might be Dak, or it might be Daniel Jones. Probably
it's going to be Dak or Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it might be.
But even Hutchinson can win it though. Still,
because I think he's top 5 in sacks in the league. He's one of the leading sack artists. I'm gonna just do a little news check real quick, just in case, because we always get breaking news like right after
we end the show.
The show ends. Some things that did happen. We had a couple trades. Obviously, we talked last week about Joe Flacco to the Bengals. We had the trade with the Browns and the Jags, and then both of the corners that got traded in that Browns-Jags trade, they both got torched the very next week.
Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious.
Newsome got torched by JSN, and then Campbell, what is it? Jason Campbell got torched by DK Metcalf or something.
DK.
Or mossed by DK Metcalf. Like, so it's like, just trade our two shit cornerbacks for each other and see how it works. It could just be playing for a new team. You're getting used to stuff, but
yeah.
No trades, no breaking news on the air, but
there is something that I really need to speak on, and it kind of is breaking news. Okay, so over the past week, I have seen a significant amount of very stupid posts on social media.
Okay.
Pertaining to the Patriots, and I just need to say, please fucking stop. Like,
such as what? What are you referring to?
I have seen probably over 10 different people commenting on posts saying not to overreact about Drake May and saying that he is not good, and their reasoning is because Mac Jones looked good his rookie year, and look how he turned out. And I just want to say to those people, please stop. Like, please stop. If you are out there right now and you believe that Drake May is at the same level as Mac or below Mac, then you either did not watch football in 2021 when Mac was playing, or you're not watching football now. All right? I just want to say that. Drake May, and this isn't even my recency bias, this isn't Pat's bias, but just from watching football and watching the Patriots, Drake May is so above Mac Jones, it isn't even funny. And I know Mac is having a decent caliber at San Fran, but even when you watch Mac Jones play on San Francisco, it is still the same exact thing as when you saw him play in New England. It is a lot of short throws, good setups, and good offensive planning by the coaching staff, and just Mac Jones being able to execute decently. But when you look at talent alone, Drake May is so much more above Mac Jones. It isn't even funny.
Yeah, and it's not even an apples to apples situation. It's a different situation. Mac was decent in his rookie year and then got worse. Drake May had a partial rookie year where he was decent and made some mistakes, and then now he's in his sophomore year and he's playing much better. So
almost
there's
an MVP level.
Yeah, like
which
one
Mac
guy
never Mac never even got to that point.
Yeah. Mac
was like an offensive rookie
better.
of the year candidate, and then he went down. Drake May was an okay player to an MVP candidate. It's just baffling to me when I see stupid people online who never watch football who are like, well, Mac Jones had a good rookie year and look how he turned out. Like, no, dude, like, that just pisses me off. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I've seen Drake May make throws already that I would
Mac could
never
dream to make in a lifetime.
I would never expect Mac Jones to make some of the throws that Drake May has made. Yeah, that's and I think things can change year to year. Just because Drake May is really, really good this year doesn't mean he's going to be the same next year if there's a new coaching staff, if there's a new system. Like, things can change year to year, and we see that happen, obviously. Because you see Mac Jones go to
Daniels.
Yeah, exactly. Like, things
last
change.
Year,
people get hurt.
Daniels
things like
was
that.
Daniels was last year was everyone like seemed to agree like he was the best quarterback in that class. Like, he came out, had probably the best rookie quarterback season ever by a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And I mean, he still looks good this year, but he definitely doesn't look as as dominant as he was towards the end of last year. And
yeah, and
that's
I mean,
I feel like that's a lot of it is like, again, like luck. Like a lot of things that really aren't going his way so far this year.
yeah,
It
and
still
he's
looks like
been
the
hurt.
talent is there.
Jaden
Yeah,
Daniels missed 2 games so far, so it's a limited sample size, but he's played good in the games that he has played, except for
this
probably
past
that.
week,
Well,
honestly.
with
But
the
the
turnovers, but he
turnovers,
still threw 3
eh,
touchdowns last week.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
I would say that the game against the Packers was really not his best game, but like that might have been more of an O-line thing. He was pressured a lot, but last year he had a couple like primetime games where he like played really well in front of a national audience that helped him. And then he had obviously the Hail Mary against Chicago was just such a massive moment that it just propelled him like way into the ranks of like legendary status that no one's ever going to forget that moment.
yeah,
But then already you've seen Drake May taking down the Bills on primetime on that was Sunday night, right?
Sunday night.
Yeah, taking
Yeah,
down the Bills on Sunday Night Football, prime time. People, I mean, we talked about it last week. Like people got put on notice as to
yeah.
who Drake May is. So
It's
it's
those
just
primetime games. It really is.
yeah, and it's just different situations, different opponents, and sort of different circumstances when it comes to injuries, even your teammates and things like that. You have um Terry McLaurin being hurt for Jaden Daniels and Austin Eckler being hurt. Not that
Mhm.
Eckler was like the most insane weapon ever, but you have just different scenarios. And then, you have guys in New England that weren't even really notable players that Drake May is that good that he's elevating people.
Yeah,
So,
which is what
I don't know.
Jaden Daniels did last year.
Right. Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
I think it's honestly, if you put a gun to my head, even as a Patriots fan, and asked me to pick which out of the best two is better, I really feel like by the end of their careers, it's gonna be close. Like I really have no idea.
Yeah.
Like you could go either
Dude.
way. I really don't know. But I will say that quarterback class last year, it had like, especially round one, has the potential to be like the best of all time, like dead ass. Because even Caleb, he looks pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
and Bo probably looks like the weakest out of all of them, and even last year,
This year.
this year,
Well,
right? But last year,
last
Bo
year I
looked
would
like
say
one of the
Caleb.
better ones,
Yeah,
right?
Bo looked like he was the second best last year. And then
Right.
this year I'd say he looks like he's probably one of the
He looks like
he's
the worst one out of the
yeah.
four.
Yeah.
But that's how good all four of them are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they've
And
all
yeah,
already shown flashes.
all 4 feel like they're going to be starters for a long time. Either
Yeah.
way, like they elevate their teams, and that's what you want out of your quarterback.
Right.
One thing I want to touch on before we wrap up that we haven't talked about is Titans head coach Brian Callahan was fired yesterday.
Oh. Yeah.
Or fired. They parted ways with him. They
Mutually
have to put it
parted
in.
ways.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
like they have to put it in those terms, but yeah, they let him go. I don't know if that solves their issues. I doubt it. I d- how so also I saw something today that um for the past 4 number 1 overall picks that were quarterbacks all lost their head coach after 1 season or less.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams lost Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
Now Cam Ward is losing Brian Callahan. Bryce Young lost whoever the fuck was their coach. Frank Reich or no, not Frank Reich. Yeah, maybe I don't know, but
I think it was Frank
whatever.
Reich.
And then before that, I think it was Justin Fields.
No, Justin Fields wasn't
No,
number
he wasn't
one.
number 1. Whatever. Either way, like it just feels like a trend with teams that are like like somewhere along the line, maybe it was. I mean, I guess you see it with guys like CJ Stroud and Jaden Daniels, and like, even going back to guys like Matt Stafford that were number 1 overall picks. They didn't turn teams around, but like, you get this like idea that getting a really, really good quarterback in the draft and drafting a quarterback high is going to fix your team right away. And that's not always true.
No.
Because even if a quarterback coming out of college is really, really good, they're still a young quarterback, brand new to the league and learning things and trying to like figure things out. And it's rare for a guy to come in the way Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud did and then immediately make an impact and immediately be figuring things out like on this otherworldly level. And it's not to say that it's never going to work out, because obviously you see it with guys like that, but like for teams to just think that, oh, I'm going to draft Cam Ward and then my team's going to be magically fixed. We don't need to address the other issues we have with our coaching staff or with our offensive line or with our run game or our other weapons. Like and maybe they're not thinking that, that like black and white, but it's like, there's more pieces than just that. And a quarterback is a huge part of a team, but like, that's not the only thing. And I don't know, like maybe it's sort of a backwards way to think, but like, get your coaching staff in order, get a coach you like, get some guys with some energy and some like positivity going, and then bring in a good young quarterback into a situation that is already positive, and then you're going to help that guy out and you're going to set yourself and everybody up for success. So yeah, that's kind of what
build
I
the
have
culture,
to say
man.
that.
That's what you're saying,
yeah.
right? Just build the culture.
It's about building a culture, yeah.
And real quick, the fourth quarterback we were thinking of is Trevor Lawrence, who was the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
and he lost Urban Meyer. Yeah, after they started 2-11.
Yep. Yeah, and even him, like, things are maybe
finally
good.
Going decent. Maybe. I mean, he's still he looks like this year the team looks way better. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
he's still making a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and then even things like that, like that team's really good mainly because they're running the ball very well. That's a huge thing for them. That's like, and they didn't do that well last week and they lost.
Yeah.
So building, like, obviously the quarterback is not the only thing. Trevor Lawrence is serviceable, when he has time and when he has help from the run game, but you need to have other pieces. You can't just, the quarterback is the cornerstone, but you can't, like, with nothing else, then what you just have a cornerstone and you have no other stones.
Well, that's like
right.
That's why, like, when I talk about Jaden Daniels, like, that's why I gloat him so much, Ryan, because I feel like a situation like that never happens in the NFL. Like, I mean, it can happen, like, as it did last year, but it is so rare. Like, you never draft a QB so early. You come out the next year and you make the NFC Championship. Like, that just does not happen. And it's a tricky situation because, I mean, if I'm a team, like really, like, you want to keep drafting quarterbacks until you find the right guy. Like, that's what I would do. Like, realistically, like, that's how important of a position a quarterback is. Like, you want your franchise, like, QB. But as you said, there's a way, like, it really is, like, more important, like, where you should focus on building the team first. But a lot of teams don't want to do that. They want to take shortcuts and they want to draft, like, these elite playmakers.
Yeah.
And they want to do those things first. And that's where, like, like, even the Bengals, like, when you look at that, like, teams like that, like, they have the playmakers, but look at the team. The team isn't good because you didn't really build your team. You kind of just, went early in the draft and picked all these top, like, tier playmakers, and Those are now look at the team you have.
You front loaded your team. You're too top heavy, right? Like you
Yeah.
even like go to sort of like the Ravens, the way that they're like all the guys that are injured right now are all of their highest paid guys. Go to the Bengals. If you lose Burrow, there's like a solid chunk of the money that you're spending on your team is gone now. You're paying all this money to a guy that's not playing. Imagine they lose either Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, then there's another huge chunk of your salary that's just gone, and you're wasting money, and you're sort of like, if there's a pie chart of your team and how much money's going to each player, like the fucking slice that's going to Joe Burrow is massive.
Yeah.
And then he just takes that slice and walks away and leaves you with half a pie, and you're trying to feed a whole family and you're like, I don't have enough pie. You know, it's a weird analogy, but like, I feel like you get what I'm saying. Just like,
I get what you're saying.
You know, you're relying on too few people when it's a whole entire team. It's a whole 53-man roster that gets things done.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I feel like that's where I feel like Belichick doesn't get enough credit, and why the Pats dynasty was so great for 20 years was because, yes, Belichick had Tom Brady and he had the quarterback, but that's why they constantly asked him to take pay cuts, because Belichick knew the importance of actually building the team and building the roster, and building the team to maintain injury, you know, to an extent.
I think Belichick was like one of the best guys at doing that.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
He would take a guy from another team that was just seen as like a almost like in basketball how you call like a role player, right? You take a role player, and yeah, they are still playing their role, but like he would turn them into someone who excels at that role.
Yeah.
And fits into the scheme in a unique way, and just like he knew how to put the puzzle pieces together with a bunch of guys that weren't necessarily star players, but could make an impact on a team in a certain way.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Belichick was really good at that. And then now he's at Carolina, and it's not the same, and I don't think he's succeeding at that at the college level.
No, it doesn't, and that's a whole other tangent. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
we
want
to
to
get into
I don't
it.
think we have time for that one.
No, maybe one day we'll go into that, but no. All I'm gonna say is he, as an NFL GM, Bill Belichick was not a bad NFL GM, like a lot of other people want to say he was, but he really was not.
Yeah, towards the end, he wasn't
towards
great.
the end.
He didn't
Offensively, defensively, he's still, even there, he still was pretty good.
And I know like Brady was a late round draft pick and ended up being amazing, but like they didn't draft really great. While
the Patriots?
While Belichick was sort of in charge. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't think so either, but you need to go and look at the list of all the players that Belichick drafted. It's insane.
Maybe it's just the early rounds. I don't like, maybe later in the draft is when they found their guys, but like their early round draft picks, I don't think were necessarily always hits. I guess I'd have to go back and take a look at it, but
I could see that. Yeah. Like their number one picks weren't always the greatest.
How many first round picks from the Pats do you remember as like good
not
players?
Many. But they were.
They would always have. You got to remember
they were. Yeah, they were always.
Picks,
yeah.
Still, like that's a guy going early in the draft that should be really good, and like your whole team is just relying on all your 6th and 7th rounders that are just like diamonds in the rough.
All right,
it's just weird.
Real quick, I want to just go over all the players that Belichick drafted.
All right,
for those of you out there that claim Belichick is a shitty GM, let's go over the list.
Well,
obviously, Edelman. Tom Brady. Obviously Edelman. Obviously Rob Gronkowski. Asante Samuel, Devin McCourty, Dante Hightower, Logan Mankins, Richard Seymour, Gerard Mayo, Dominique Easley, who I don't know on this, he was okay. Vince Wilfork, Cyrus Jones, James White, Dion Branch, Matt Light, Nate Solder,
Mm.
and the list suddenly ended.
Well, then you have some undrafted guys. Wasn't Amendola undrafted?
Amendola was undrafted, yeah.
Was Edelman wasn't undrafted though. He was just a late round pick.
He was super late, yeah. And he was a quarterback. He was a quarterback in college, and Belichick was like, put him on the punt team.
Yeah.
And they put him on the punt team, and look how good he turned out.
Are all those guys in the era where Belichick was like de facto GM? Because those are some early guys. I mean, he was just the coach for a time. He wasn't always the GM.
Correct. However, early on when Belichick wasn't the GM, almost every defensive guy that they drafted was because of Belichick.
Okay.
Like it was because of him.
Yeah, I mean,
Belichick went and said, I need this guy. Like when
Yeah.
they went and drafted Seymour, that was all Belichick. He was like, we need this guy.
Gotcha.
And then Will Fork as well.
Yeah. I mean, even like you see it with other teams. Obviously, the head coach and the GM always work together to pick guys that are going to fill out the team. Like it's not 100% on one guy always.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even look at like Brian Daboll obviously loved and still loves Jackson Dart, and that's why they picked him. But yeah, even though he's not the GM. But yeah, all right. I think point made. Point made. Let us know.
Sorry, we did end up going on a tangent there, but
that's fine.
That was partly my fault, but that needed to be said.
I like it. I like it. I like the little history lesson, and yeah, I mean that was like a dozen guys or so.
Yeah, that was like 20
over 20 years plus.
Yeah. And those are just the guys that were drafted. And then, like you said, there are other undrafted guys they brought in.
I'm saying, like, I guess one a year maybe, like, is a good rate of players. But, like, honestly, for that time period, it kind of seems like a short list. I don't know, but
there's more guys. The list ended
Okay.
like spontaneously. The AI
it spontaneously. Oh, the AI. Oh, is a list of AI. Okay, so I don't trust any of it anymore.
No, it was the AI, but yes, but all those guys, I trust it because I know those guys. Like I remember.
Right. Gotcha.
And I know they were during that era. Like none of them were drafted in the 90s. So.
Right. Let us know in the comments if you have anybody else that Bill Belichick drafted that you like, or whatever, or even your favorite team. Let us know who your favorite draft pick for your favorite team was and who it was that drafted them and all that. We have one viewer live now, but people can watch this after the fact. So let us know in the comments. Yeah, Tony's locked in on his phone. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys. We will catch you next week, same time next week, and we will see you later. Peace.